You're ready. Welcome to the show. I'm Owen Video here with my wife, Theresa, and today we're going to be talking about email marketing. And literally what that means is taking your live stream viewers, these passive viewers on your live stream shows, and then turning them into active, engaged email subscribers where you can now email them alerts and you could even sell them products through your email.
That's right. And I think that's important because you're no longer at the mercy of the YouTube and Facebook algorithms to be able to connect with them. They may not always be able to see your videos.
That's
for
right.
Whatever. Now you can still reach them and support them off of the videos as well.
Yeah, that's right. And really owning your audience is what we're going to talk about today. And if you're watching this on the replay, you may want to skip ahead a few minutes because we're going to welcome some of our live stream viewers that are checking in right now. We've also got a couple announcements happening because some changes. There's some big changes that are happening right now, including, I think, the most obvious one, and that's you. So talk about a little bit why you're here today.
Well, Owen needs a feminine touch.
I keep hearing that. Everyone's telling me that, these days.
But I am his wife, but I'm also the head of business development for the Video Marketing School. And with that, I'm involved in much of the marketing.
Right.
I'm involved in much of the sales. And even much of the coaching as well. And so, I'm able to add that feminine touch as well as some, just some complimentary,
that's okay. That's where I want to jump in here because we've got the Modern Real Estate Agent logging in. We've got You Do It is logging in. Jay Houselander, Dale and Torby. It's been a while. Good to see you, Dale. And TBF is logging in. Super glad to have you guys here. But really, I've been sort of the head of this outfit for quite some time, but I'm really just a pretty face. It's been my wife who runs the marketing and the business development. And that's why you're here. You're here to share what you know about growing a 7-figure business with video.
Right. And behind the scenes with video.
Yeah.
On that email side. So I think that this is going to be an exciting show. We have a lot to talk about.
We do. And I'll tell you, there's some big changes happening on this show as well. And we're really excited to cover those with you today because we have these great partners over at Restream. And Restream makes the software that we're using right now. Yep. Restream has this great software, and they came to us with this vision for building a great, live stream show, but also building a great brand. And so we've done a few episodes of this show. We're one of the top performing shows, but we're changing things to make them even better. And we're going to be changing the name of this show to the Business of Video Podcast. Now, tell everybody why that's sort of a kind of a cool new thing.
Well, we're resurrecting something beautiful. We used to have the show where it ran for 2 years. Owen hosted it with Nick Nemeth, and it was awesome because it really our passion is in business, and similarly to this. A stream like You Mean It, I've been behind the scenes with that as well. And so it's exciting to be able to come in. Nick's not here. Obviously, that was a couple of years back, but I am coming in. But
it was also a 2-year show. We had a 2-year show with Nick.
Great.
We had some of the biggest names in video marketing ever to come on that show. Mm-hmm. And, there was a guest that we wanted to have on that we were never able to get. And that's Christina Smallhorn. And Christina Smallhorn is watching this right now. And so, Christina, you are first on our list of our short list of guests to have on the show. But we are changing the name of this show to the Business of Video Podcast. And we're going to continue to talk about live streaming as a strategy in a well-rounded video marketing campaign. But we're also going to be creating new content with you and me throughout the week. And we're going to talk about YouTube, and we're going to talk about lead generation, and we're going to talk about all the different things that video marketers need to know to be successful in today's climate.
Right. So whether you are a live streamer, live streamer who wants to, monetize and just add some business quality to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or you are a CEO, a business owner, an entrepreneur who wants to leverage video, live stream to be able to scale what you're doing. this is going to be the show for
you. Yeah. And we're really excited to launch some of those things. So in the future, you're going to see new marketing for the Business to Video podcast. And we are pumped to have you guys here. Want to say what's up to Doc Rock. Doc, thank you for the gear. I want you to notice that we put out a whole bunch of gear from Sean Doc Boyd, who sent us some gear. In fact, let's go ahead and open.
Sure.
We were going to skip this part because we just thought it was like a little bit, kind of like selfish to just like, let's just open our presents. But Sean Doc Boyd sent us some gear, and we were going to go ahead and open it on the air to show you what he sent us.
One of the things I first love about this is that even the wrapping paper on this is branded.
It's on brand, and I love that.
That is something to take note.
Yeah, if you guys are doing stuff with live streaming, then Sean Doc Boyd is Doc Rock is what we call him, is somebody to follow. So looks like I've got go when you get it, go ahead and open it up. I'll show you.
I'm seeing some shirts. Let's see what's on them.
Yeah, some cool shirts, and I've got one.
I get live.
Baby.
I like that. That's fun.
I love it. Great looking gear, and we're gonna wear these out and about. So look, you got a kind of a neat one. Oh, look at that one. Show it to the camera.
Okay.
Over here.
I am.
Lower it a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Wrong camera lens.
There you go. Wow.
That's good.
I love that. Super cool. And I love
I get live.
That's awesome. I love merch. I love merch is a great way to promote your live stream show. So thank you, Sean Doc Boyd. Air 5 to you, my friend. And it looks like we've got hard-boiled English logging in. Hey, Paul, I hope you like some of the new changes that you see coming to the show. Climbing Goat is asking me if I remember a certain gentleman. Of course I do. I speak to him every now and then, every couple of months on Instagram. I believe that he's even doing a podcast now. So yeah, I love that stuff. So I think we're ready to get into the show today. We're going to be talking about email marketing today. Let's start the show with a big question of the day. What email marketing software are you guys using right now? And if you don't even know what that is, just type I don't have any or none or whatever the case might be. But I'd love to know what company you're using, because I think that's a big part of like knowing where our audience is at, in this whole process. Okay, but I think we are ready to start the show. And look, guys, we're relying on you. We want to get to 100 comments in the next 10 minutes. That's our goal. So you ready for a good show, baby?
I am ready.
All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and cue the bumper, and we will get started.
You mean it. Where entrepreneurs and video creators like you learn to create more effective and engaging live stream shows.
They get hot.
This show is hosted by Owen Video and powered by Restream. We're live every Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, multi-streaming on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and more. Now, here's your host, Owen Video.
Welcome to the show. Today, we're talking about email marketing and how to convert your passive live stream viewers into an engaged email list that you can now send alerts and newsletters to, but you can also sell them or send them emails that help you to sell, more products.
Right. And I think that's important because you are no longer at the mercy of the YouTube and Facebook algorithms.
Oh my gosh.
To connect with your audience. Things change, and we hear people all the time say, I used to have this many views or whatever happens, and now I can't connect with them. But if you have their email, now you are able to connect with them anytime you want, on camera, off camera, and be able to show them how you can offer your support.
Yeah, and today we're actually going to show you how to put them on your email list so that even if they unsubscribe from their email, you can still contact them in a not sleazy, totally agreeable way. And I think that we're going to get into that right now. Now, if you've got questions about email marketing and live streaming, I want to encourage you to ask them into the comment area. Go ahead and put a Q in front of it, like Q dash, and then ask your question. That way Carlos can find them. Carlos is going to be popping your questions up later on. And Climbing Goat, I got to say this. Climbing Goat is saying, I am Matt Franklin's son, and he told me to check out your channel for tips. And those tips have helped me so much. That is great to see, Climbing Goat. If you're Matt's son, then we've met at some point. You know what I mean? Unless you're like kid number 10 or 11, because Matt has 9 kids.
Oh, okay.
And he used to be at the children's ministry in Calvary, and so I know Matt pretty well. Like I've at least met all the kids. So that's really great to see. Let's get into our topic today as we talk about email marketing. And we want to let you know that all of this is brought to you by our fantastic sponsors over at Restream. And Restream provides the software that we're using right now. They're a broadcast studio, and they have a free account that you can try out today. If you have a free account, upgrade your account, spend the $15. And if you do, I want you to tell me, because I'm going to give you all the training that I have on it. I'm going to give you all of my templates. I'm going to give you everything you need to have a successful show with Restream. Just go to epiclivevideo.com, start a free account, or upgrade your account today. All right, let's talk about email marketing. Because when we're talking about email marketing, what we're really talking about is you've got this audience of people, and they're watching you, and maybe they're watching in their cars. How many of you guys are in your cars right now? How many of you are at your desk? Like, where are you right now? Mm-hmm. The idea is you got people that are listening passively, but if you want to like sell them a product like merchandise, then your email is really the best place to do. So how do you get them from watching to actually going to a web page, putting in their name, putting in their email, and going through that process? And I think to understand that, we need to first kind of dig into what a funnel is. And so maybe, Theresa, you could start us there.
Well, basically, you're taking your, anybody who would watch your show in the first place, there's probably a lot of things that they also would be interested in as well, that can go deeper into their relationship with you. And so you're essentially taking this wider audience and you're funneling them into smaller and smaller niches until until you get the ones who are so niche that they want to buy from you. Whatever that might be.
Right.
And I think it starts really with a valuable offer.
Yeah, that's good.
Valuable enough that they're willing to give you their email for it. I guard my email. And so I don't just hand it out to anybody.
Yeah, that's really good.
You got to give me something valuable.
Yeah, that's really good. And so the first step in converting people to an offer, into your email is to have a solid offer. Okay, now your offer is going to be like a free guide or some type of valuable PDF or downloadably digital like product. And I think the best was like PDF guides, recipe books. So, and when I say recipes, it might be like cooking recipes, but it might also be like a recipe for how to live stream or a recipe for how to do SEO or something like that.
Anything I think really that, your videos are great and there's a lot of value on the video, but it's visual. And it's quick and it's moving. And if somebody wants to take any of that and use it, they're going to have to write it down. And sometimes people aren't always able to write it down, or they write sloppy. It doesn't look
And the
good.
whole idea is it's done your way, right? Like it's so like we have a couple different guides and we try to make a few different guides per year. And what we do is it usually starts with me at my computer on a Saturday morning because the kids are watching TV and I've got time to just kind of be creative. Saturday morning is like creative time for me. So I might create a whole, like, for example, we have a brand new podcast we're launching on like alternative medicine. Okay. So I sat down at my computer and I made like a 5-page keto vegan eating guide in just an hour, and then I gave that to a Fiverr gig who kind of like made it look more like a book, added some images to it, set the type, like all that stuff I don't want to do. That was done in a day. And now it's on Dropbox where it's shared with a link. So it took me an hour and a half maybe to get the offer made. What are some other offers that you've seen our clients make? Our clients are YouTubers and live streamers.
Sure. So, we have, like a fitness and health coach, and she primarily works with women. And so she offered an emotional eating guide, giving like a few tips and strategies for how to, combat emotional eating.
Right.
We have somebody else who he sells a lot of graphic design, but he offers some free, some free basic.
That's Bradley, by the way. Bradley Teaches is who you're talking about. He's in the video marketing school. Right. That's right. And he did that. Mm-hmm. Lead with Jim, who's out there watching us right now, created a
disc profile assessment.
A disc profile.
The best I've ever seen.
Amazing.
I've used many. His is the best.
Super good.
By far.
Yeah. And it was like how to analyze your disc results. So a free offer can be any of these things. I'd love to know, do you guys have an offer right now? And if so, what is it?
I would love to know what their niche is too.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I forget. See, Theresa's new. I know so many of you guys right now.
Like I'm in real estate and this is my offer. I'm in this and this is my offer.
That's right. That's okay. So let us know, like, what is it that you're offering? And because that's the first step. That is why your customer is going to go to a website, is because the offer is good, right? So like, it's not like you can't get free keto vegan recipes anywhere. You can get free keto vegan recipes, but the reason that they're going to get my guide is because we made it into like a shop, like an Amazon shopping list. So the whole idea is that like going keto vegan is easy. By the way, a lot of people that get autoimmune disorders and cancers, keto vegan is like the preferred like alternative diet. So you have to think about their mindset. What is the mindset these people are in? And it's like they're stressed out with cancer, autoimmune, lifestyle changes. I don't know what to get. Nobody I know eats keto vegan. Nobody knows how to do that. Right? So here's a shopping guide. Just buy these 25 things, and then any recipe that you get,
just use those
will
items.
Be, yeah. Exactly. So they'll get the offer because of the way you present it. Because some of you guys are going like, oh, but I'll do this, but everybody else has done that. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Okay.
I kind of think of it as like, if you created something because it helps you, then it's probably going to be super awesome and helpful to your audience too. So anything that you've created to help yourself is something that you could offer.
Most of you guys probably already have like your free offers, and you just need to give it to a Fiverr gig to kind of like
make it look good.
Yeah, make it look really, really saucy. Okay. So that's number one. First thing you need to do. Next thing you need to do is you need to get an email marketing software. Now, a lot of you guys already, come on, I can't scroll through chat on this one. But I do see Lead with Jim out there. I see Larry Kozin out there. And I see who else is out there. There was a few more. But a lot of you guys are using Mailchimp. I'm not against Mailchimp, but it's a free software. Like you can do a handful of things for free, but you can't do a lot of the things that matter for free. And that's the thing about Mailchimp is I feel like because they're free, they bring in a lot of people to their software. But then once you like finally have to pay, you now have a software that's, I believe, not as modern as some of the other softwares out there at the same price. Constant Contact was the same way because they advertise on radio. So it's like free. But then when you finally get it, it's like, wow, this software is so old because I'm not trying to knock Mailchimp, guys. I just think that there's better programs out there, but they don't always start for free. We use ActiveCampaign as our email, and that's where you spend a lot of time. So talk about why we use ActiveCampaign.
Well, prior to our hyper focus onto YouTube coaching and YouTube consulting, we've done a lot of video sales types of marketing type of agency level work for a number of clients. I've had to use a ton of their softwares where I was the one that was involved in helping build out their funnels and make their emails and so forth. I've used many, and ActiveCampaign is by far my favorite. I don't want to use any of the other
But
ones.
it also has a CRM.
Well, that's one of the many reasons. I like it because it's very intuitive. It just makes sense.
It makes sense.
Right? When you're using it, you've got a CRM, so you don't have to have two different softwares. So
CRM is a customer relationship manager. And so when people start buying stuff, you can actually go into like who bought stuff. Yes. Yeah. And it's not like there was this older software that they call Confusionsoft or Confusionware. I can't remember what it was called, but it was very designed by designers, by developers, you know what I mean? And it didn't like always, it wasn't easy, but ActiveCampaign's really easy to use. Carlos, maybe you can go full screen on that one. So we use ActiveCampaign, but you need to have a software that you use, and you need to become a master at that software. Right. Because here's what's going to happen is using that software, you now are going to integrate that with a landing page system that they speak to each other. So when somebody clicks on your video or clicks, from your video to your offer, they're going to go to a landing page. They're going to enter in their name and email. When they do, they will receive your offer through the email marketing company.
That's how you want to do it.
That's the basic workflow, right? So that's why you need kind of like these three things in order to have a properly functioning sort of sales funnel. Now, there's a couple other tools that we like as well. Number one is Rebrandly. And the reason that we like Rebrandly is because you can take a really long, super big link, okay? And all right, Carlos, you can come back to us now. I'm trying to get Carl. I know Carl's is doing a million different things over there. But like when I get bored of looking at the screen, I assume that you guys are bored. And so like I want to make sure that we're flipping long enough. Rebrandly helps you these long links. And I call them ugly links, and then turn them into nicer links. Like you can go to owenvideo.com/ROS, owenvideo.com/active-campaign, or owenvideo.com/ whatever. Yeah, because we have Rebrandly. Rebrandly rebrands the link and makes it a little bit easier for people to get. Now, the last thing that you need for email marketing, and this is only going to be for like 7-figure businesses, maybe high sixes, onlinejobs.ph is you should be outsourcing your email marketing. Tell us why.
Because it can be tedious and tasky. I guess that's kind of the same word, but it can drain your creative energy. And if you're doing a lot, which I imagine you probably are, you need to save that real estate in your mind, for some of these other things. And so I know some people who really love to do their own email. And for those people, great. If you love it, if it gives you life and you enjoy that process, go for it. Continue doing it. But if you would feel in any way like, oh, I got to do another email, then outsource it. You can outsource it for a very good price. And, there's a lot of tools out there so that it really looks good. And of course, you can put them through your process. You can double check it, make sure it looks good, make sure it has your voice and so forth, and then get it on a system.
It takes training. It really does. You know what I mean? Like I think that there's this idea that you're going to hire someone and then they're going to do a perfect job the first time. And that's never anything that we've taught. In fact, I always say like, it's going to take a good month, 30 days of training somebody, and you never bring them in until you've already sort of built the system.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So what you're going to want to do is kind of like, create, before you hire someone, first, you gotta like set up your landing page, and you got to do that, and that's the first thing that you should do. And then when you hire somebody, you make them a Loom video, and you're like, hey, this is our landing page, this is our thing, and and this is how we get people to subscribe to our offer, right? That way they know what to do. But once you have that person, then they're going to write the weekly emails for you. Then they're going to write the automations for you. Because when somebody opts into your free guide, let's say that you have like a free health guide, right? How to lose 10 pounds in 10 days. Fasting will do that. Don't eat a thing for 10 days. Okay, wait, we just got 100 messages. We got 100 messages.
Thank you, Jim.
By 1:23. So that's good. That's it's 3 minutes after our goal, but we hit our goal, folks. And we're all about hitting goals here today. So what was I talking about? She doesn't know.
I don't know. I got distracted.
She wasn't listening. Squirrel. I went somewhere. Here's the thing is that Rebrandly, so we can get this long link, and now we say everybody, so this is, now you've got all that set up and you went to Rebrandly.
Oh, and then you had mentioned, so they opt into your guide and you get their email.
Yes.
Okay. But what happens after that?
Yes.
Right. So
automations.
A lot of people I know, they get that email and then that's it. They do nothing. And you have all these people on your list that have opted into your guide. They've showed you, hey, I like what you have to offer. I find value in what you're doing. And that's it. How are you going to continue to build relationship with them if you don't reach out to them again? Share other things. Talk to them like a friend. Share with them some other cool things that you found. Share with them some support that
you're talking about. Sending people weekly emails.
Yes, regular content. And somebody had mentioned over here, that they love our emails because we're respectful. That's cool. So I think that there's a balance. You don't want to over email people where it's like, oh my gosh, I get 5 emails from them a day and they're always pitching me something.
Yeah, sales.
Right. So there's a balance. You want to add value. You want to build relationship. You want to connect with them. And then offer them support in other areas where they might need to purchase some of those things in order to get that support from you.
But Paul says, I love the emails I get from Owen and Theresa. They make me feel informed and important. Other emails make me feel like eating my own legs. So,
well, I write most of our emails. So
that's right.
I would say thank you.
That's right. You do. And it's important that you pre-write these emails. See, guys, this is what we're talking about is like, you have this guide that's like, this how to lose 10 pounds in 10 days guide. And then you might have 10 emails that go out every day for 10 days with a new tip. That's an automation. They're pre-written and they're scheduled. And every time somebody logs in, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they will get 10 days of auto emails. But then you want to have newsletters.
Yep.
So what we do is that anybody that's in an automation, they don't get any newsletters or anything until they've gone through the automation.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get into our weekly newsletters. And that's where it's really helpful to have hired someone to help you write those automation emails, but also to help you write the weekly newsletters that can go out over time.
And I'm really excited about this. I just saw this new feature with the Active Campaign software that we love to use. They've come out with this new feature that'll send out the email to the people on your list at a time that the Active Campaign robots have figured out when that person most likely will open your email.
Oh, wow.
And so it'll send it to them at that time. I haven't used it yet, but I saw it and I cannot wait to play with that.
We have a user that says, I think you hate me. I stopped getting your emails. Stop unsubscribing. Let's talk about how to get people on your list and so that they'll never unsubscribe. But first, I want to say what's up to Ian Anderson Gray. I also want to say what's going on to, oh man, I can't see the names again. Some of our other listeners. Thanks for logging in. And by the way, if you're enjoying the show, why don't you tag somebody that you know that should be here but isn't? Mm-hmm. We would love to get your tips on how to grow the show. Okay. All right. So let's kind of go through some questions. First one, Ed Weinberg is asking, why is Rebrandly better than WordPress, which gives you nice URLs? Well, I would disagree that Facebook gives you nice URLs, although...
Or WordPress.
I'm sorry, that WordPress gives you nice URLs. Although, if your website is edweinberg.com and you make a page called, like Ed Weinberg's listing videos or Ed Weinberg's real estate tips, like it's edweinberg.com/real estate tips. That's okay. But what happens when you create a page that's like how to buy a home in Ontario for less than $500,000? Like, you can't make that pretty. Or what happens when you're using ClickFunnels and ClickFunnels doesn't give you pretty links?
Nope.
Or what happens when, like, just this weekend, I got tapped to do a presentation that I've had, 3 months to prepare for, but I didn't do it until the night before.
He thrives under pressure.
I do. My best work is really under pressure, but I didn't do it until the night before. And what I did was, instead, I didn't have time to create a landing page, so I created a Google form. I don't want to send people to a Google form, so I used a Rebrandly to send them to owenvideo.com/tracker.
Right.
And then they went there and we got opt-ins from it. Like, we built our email list from that presentation.
I also think it works well with any of your affiliates, because affiliate links are typically not pretty as well.
That's good. That's really good. So if you're like, for example, we send people to epiclivevideo.com as opposed to restream.io/ref =? Owen video. Mm-hmm. Right. And so that's a great point too. Now, Ian is saying I use the Thirsty Links plugin. And there's also a plugin called Pretty Links.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That works the same way. The reason we don't use it is because our domain names are so long. The Video Marketing School. So I want something really short, like tvms.com/blah, blah, blah. I want my links to look really, really sharp. So we had another question come in from TBF who says, if you are starting a new education channel, what is the best way to start an email list? So your thoughts on that, Therese?
Well, I would try to think of something, again, like I've mentioned before, you offer a lot of value on the video, on the channel. That's great. But what would be something that you teach regularly on your channel that would be really great to have in a written form?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be lengthy. It could be, some really long PDF, but even just like a checklist of some sort, or a list of tools, or whatever it is that your specialty is in, so that they don't have to worry about having to take down meticulous notes to be able to gather what it is that
it should resonate in there. Yeah, it should resonate in their mind.
Yeah. So if I was, I used to be a teacher, and so if I were doing some sort of lesson on like Romeo and Juliet, it would be great if I had, some sort of like, character outline, that with just a brief synopsis of each character that person can get, something like that, right? That they could quickly download and be able to use to help them with their studies. Yeah.
I would take one thing that you study or one thing that you sell, right? If you have an education channel, what's like the thing that you really, that inspired you to start this channel? Make a list, man. I make shopping lists all the time. I make 10 tips lists, ingredient lists, shoppers buying lists, buyer's guides. You know, these types of things can be really, so like you're an education channel, you say like, hey, like, I don't know who you're educating, but let's just say it's young adults. Maybe you make like a how to set your like 10 great habits for learning from home.
Ooh.
Right. And so, and it's like a checklist of like, number one, get, I don't know, get a pad of paper.
Filter on your screen so that you're not having all that.
Yeah, get the blue light, get the red light
eyes.
filter on your screen. Number one. Step 2, get this meditation app and meditate 10. Step 3, have sharpened pencils by your desk at all times. Use paper.
A playlist of music
that's really good.
Really like focus.
Yeah, that's really good. See, and what these things do is they set your viewer up to be really successful while they're watching your channel. Right. And so that's why we do buyer's guides, because like you can't really join our program until you have all the gear. And so we want you to have the gear.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about how you keep them on your email list. So I want to talk to you guys about list management. Ian Anderson is saying, I really like your idea of using shortened links. And that's like part of it's. So, and Tim Gillette, by the way, is here. So I want to say what's up, Tim Gillette. It's good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. I want to talk about putting people on your email list, because here's the thing. We have multiple offers, okay? So we might offer like the live stream buyer's guide, but then we also offer like the business owner's guide to YouTube. Different offers. We also have like another offer on how to get brand deals. That's a different offer, and that really goes to a different audience altogether. So when somebody signs up to your email list, what you want to do is put them on 3 different lists. Okay. The first, and I sound like that. You know what I sound like with my heavy breathing? Like, I feel like the sick Triceratops.
And Owen is a little sick
from Jurassic Park, and she's shallow breathing, and then she pinches that thing on her tongue. That's how I feel right now. It's like a big giant.
I did give him some NyQuil right before the show. So
I did. I feel like I need
Dayquil.
Dayquil. Yeah,
not
please.
NyQuil.
Yeah, I'm falling asleep on the. So I'm sorry if I sound sick, because I am sick. By the way, thank you guys for tagging your friends in the show, and if you want to share this with people, we would love that. So look, we were talking about your email list. So they go on one list called Brand Deals email list. Like the list is named for the opt-in they came in on. Okay. But then they go on another list called Master List. And then they go on another list called your Retargeting list. So when they opt into your email, they need to go on 3 different lists. And here's why. On the offer list, they may get your automation for brand deals and unsubscribe. I just wanted your free offer. I don't watch your weekly emails. How many of you have ever dealt with that before? Mm-hmm. Right? Where somebody logs in and subscribes. So you want to keep their email. You want to keep the legal right to continue emailing them. That's why they go on the master list. Okay? Everyone goes on the master list so that you can try and keep them engaged without violating any laws. Right? So they've unsubscribed from your list. Now you kind of have your email system send them an email that's like, hey, I see you unsubscribed. Are you interested in our other content?
Right.
And then they go on that list, right? And so you keep them on your list. Now the final list, and I know that it gets kind of confusing. The third list you put them on is a list you never, ever, ever touch. Ever. And if they unsubscribe from both the first list and the second list, you pretty much lost them. And you can't email them anymore.
Right. But you can use those emails for other things.
But you can use their emails for other things, such as a retargeting list for Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, and so many other things. So that third list, that do not touch list, is connected to a Zapier or a if this then that automation that automatically puts all emails in a Microsoft Excel form that you can update or upload to Facebook on sort of a monthly, like a monthly basis. So talk a little bit about, and that brings us to our next point here, which is retargeting traffic. Okay, so talk to us a little bit about what retargeting is.
So they, that they're interested in this or that because they watched your channel, they downloaded your guide and so forth. And now you put out an ad that's related to that. Maybe you can.
Well, let's hang on. Let's back up. retargeting as a strategy is following your audience around on the web. So have you ever gone and seen like an Amazon? You go to Amazon and you're looking at like nail polish,
and then it shows up in your Facebook feed,
Boom.
and you think they're listening.
They are, and by the way, they are listening to everything that you, and they're lying about it too. But that's a whole different story. But yes, so did I throw you off my conspiracy theories? You know.
Well, the retargeting bots, will know that, and so then your ad will show up wherever they go. So they might go to some blog on,
yes,
homeschooling.
Yes, really good.
Your ad for, English tips, which is not even related to the blog that they're looking at, actually shows up if that blog is allowing ads.
Yes. Yeah. So imagine somebody sees your live stream show on YouTube or Facebook, and then they go to a blog. They're Googling local politics or whatever. Mm-hmm. Your ad for your product shows up on the blog. Carlos, can we share the screen? This is an example. By the way, there's 3 big companies that will do this for you: Mediavine, AdVine, and AdRoll. We have friends that use Mediavine and AdVine. We use AdRoll, although we haven't used them in a while. But AdRoll is great. Like, AdRoll is so cheap and easy to use. So if you have something to sell, you should consider selling it with AdRoll. Now, let's go to one of our, I would call her like a colleague. She's not so much a client so much, but we did help her put this together because she's a friend of ours. This is Melissa Maker, and this is her website. Now, notice at the very top of her website, there's this ad for kidney cancer. Okay, that's a retargeting ad. And they're showing it to me because I'm launching that alternative wellness show. Right. So I'm watching all these channels and going to all these blogs that are like cancer, 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 cancer. So I'm seeing a cancer ad. This could be your stuff. This could be your course. This could be your membership site, right. Okay, or whatever the case might be.
They know you. They've heard your name before. They've seen your stuff, and they go, "Oh yeah, I remember." And they remember you.
Yes,
right?
They do. Oh, I just saw. Wow, they must be really big. Like, wow, I just saw Paul. Paul's, and you know what this costs her? Or what it costs the advertisers? Retargeting is very cheap. Mm-hmm. It's very, very cheap. Now, she's also like, the moment I move my mouse, I get this pop-up, which is join my email list. And notice she has an offer, get my cleaning secrets. You notice how it's not, it's not like, oh, hey, follow me because I'm awesome. Get alerts for my show. It's nothing like that. Yeah, it's like that. It's something that I like, her cleaning secrets, and I'll bet you it's the shopping list.
And she's got some amazing secrets.
I'll bet you it's really big, like just kind of, like buy this on Amazon. So she's making money on the free offer too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay. All right, good. So that's the value of retargeting. Let's go to some questions, because we had a lot of questions coming in already. So go ahead, and Carlos will put. What do you want to pick a question and go?
Sure. Natalie says, I have a Facebook group about do-it-yourself bookkeeping, simple financial tips, helping women entrepreneurs achieve financial clarity. They came to group without entering the email. How do I get their email now?
Got it. Okay. So you have a Facebook group, which, by the way, is actually one of our tips here is start Facebook groups. And in your Facebook group, there's a questionnaire. Mm-hmm. And you say, hey, send me your email to get the questionnaire. Here's what I see is that, like, it's not enough. My guess is you didn't offer something. So it's like every group member must have a copy of my DIY guide for women.
Right. It's foundational. You can't learn anything in this group without that guide.
Please enter your email to receive the guide. Right. That's it.
It's part of the questions.
And so it's the way you ask it will get more people to say yes to it. But then you have the question of, like, when they don't give it to me, what do I do then? So Theresa, you're kind of a Facebook group expert. So kind of talk about what you would do in that situation, what we have done in that situation.
Well, there's Facebook offers a little thing that says, to remind that person to answer the questions. So you can push that little button and send them a reminder. You could also just reach out to them. Hey, I saw that you wanted to join my group. I'm super excited to have you there. Here's the deal. What I teach in here, that there's a foundational lesson everybody has to have. There's no point in even being in the group. It's a waste of your time if you don't download this guide.
Yeah.
I see that you haven't filled out the form, with your email address. If you really want to get those tips in this group, please come, go back and fill that out. Looking forward to seeing you there. Very friendly, kind, again, it's about value and it's about them. It's not about you. So, make sure that the wording is about them and about the value that they get by finishing the form.
Yeah. And I would actually even try, like, that's one method. And I would actually add to that, maybe just say, hey, excited to see you in the group, but I didn't get your email. Can I but I didn't get your email ? And leave it at that. Would I allow them in the group without having their email? Some people I would, and some people I wouldn't.
I would say no. And the reason why is if your group is that you have your group and you want it strictly to just offer value and you just want to connect with people and have a community, fine. Great, then maybe let them in. But if yours is really about lead gen, then is that the type of person that's even going to become a potential customer for you in the first place?
Yeah.
If they're not even willing,
if they can't
to get
follow
foundational training that you have, that you offer to get into your group, they're not even willing to do that. Well, then are they going to be coachable? Are you even going to be able to help them?
If they can't follow your very first piece of coaching advice, then are they going to be someone that's in the group? So yeah, I would email them back with a copy and paste email. There's actually a software called Atext that allows you to program quick repeatable messages into your computer. So you could type in like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's boom, it automatically converts into this quick paragraph that you've already pre-scheduled into Atext. So you're writing people back and you're just saying, hey, look, I can't wait to have you in the group. Really quick though, what's your email? And if they don't respond back, or if they're like, I don't want to give you your email, you say, well, hey, great, have a great day. Peace, I'm out. You don't want to build a group of people that are just stealing your content, right? So I think that's a great question. Ahmed has another question. Good to see you here, my man. Let's go to that question. It's about building an email list for subscribers. Carlos, can you put that on the screen? I don't have any control over the chat here. Ahmed Jaff is asked the question. I'm sure it'll pop up here in a second. But it was something like, Owen, you told me to build an email list so that I could sell it to as a thing for my sponsors. And my list is at 1,500. Where, how much should I charge for that? Okay, great question. And here it is right here. So there's two different ways to answer that. Number one is like your 1,500 email subscribers is really positive. Most people don't have that. So it's not a 15,000 person list, which I think is like influencer status, but it is 1,500, and that's really positive. You should never share the open rate. Never share the open rate, because if you're not getting 30% open rate, it's not even a really good list, right? Or maybe you're not.
If it is, then definitely share that.
But yeah, okay, all right, that's good. Yeah, for sure. Know when to share the open rate and when not to. But what I would do is leverage the email list as part of an existing deal and added value. And hey, if you sign, so like, hey, we're going to do a brand deal for $20,000. And if you sign this week, now you don't say it like this, Ahmed. This sounds like a car sale. But you're going to say something like, well, look, here's the deal. I have a lot of sponsors calling me right now, and I would like to think less about that and focus on my show. So I'll tell you what, I will add in a monthly email to my active engaged subscriber list if you guys can come to an agreement this week. Right. And you use it to kind of to close up an existing deal.
I would say also anything else that you have as well. Like if you have a Facebook group with, 5,000 people in it,
leverage
that's something,
that.
Bring that up as well. I mean, think about all of your platforms, all the things that you've put together. I mean, those are all places that you could be, showing off that brand.
Anywhere that you have a network is something that you should leverage. And I don't think people leverage this enough. Now, if you wanted to sell like an email list subscriber with 1,500, I would get what you can for it. Like I'm not going to pay much attention to 1,500. So I would get what you can. Maybe you can get 100, maybe you can get 1,000 for it. You're pretty good. You promote your channel pretty well. So I would get what you can for it. That's kind of really, it's not quite an asset yet, I think. But only serious marketers are going to know that. Most marketers, brand deal companies, they have no way to measure that. Okay. Adam Bauer is asking, how do you get more than 4 viewers on a live stream? Hey, when you figure that one out, Adam, let me know. First of all, I build an email list. And I alert people. I let people know when we're having a show. But I'll tell you the quick answer to that is we have a pre-flight checklist. And in our pre-flight checklist, we have a bunch of, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? And that helps people to know that our show is on, right? So what I would do if I were you, Adam, is I would start building an email list and start, sending people links to your videos either before you go live or after you go live. Okay. Then in your show, have them like subscribe to your channel or have them like follow you, like on Facebook so that they get alerts to you. You know what I mean? Another thing to do is have people share it.
Yep.
Like I asked you guys to share it today. You could have people tag, say, hey, we tag somebody in my show. But this is what I see a lot is like, I see these creators that are like, I go live, but I don't tell anyone about it because I want it to all be organic. And I want to tell all my friends and family that I did it organically and that like you,
or they're waiting. It's like, I won't share it until I look like I have a successful show because I'm embarrassed. But then how are you supposed to have a successful show?
It will never happen. It will never happen that way.
Yeah.
You have to tell people about your show.
Yeah.
And so I think there's like this myth of organic that like it's all going to just happen for you. You have to be your biggest promoter and let people know that you're. What do you do, Adam? By the way, I know that we've talked before. What is just
familiar.
Remind me? Yeah, just remind me of what your show is all about. I'd love to see it. Okay, let's go back to Lead with Jim has a question. I feel bad. Like we left Jim in the lurch because we love him so much. And I am just getting like more and more stuffed up as this show goes on. So I'm like, I know I can. I see it. Go ahead and read. Can you see Lead with Jim's question?
Yeah. What are your thoughts about daily versus weekly emails? There are arguments for both, and I'm curious of your thoughts.
Go ahead.
I say both are valuable. I think the end is think about what is valuable to give per day, what is valuable to give per week. Selling every day, unless you're doing a launch, I wouldn't be doing that. Selling once a week, sure. Again, unless you're doing a launch. If you're doing a launch of some sort, then yeah, you're going to want to have out a few blasts that go out that week for whatever it is that you're like promoting at that time. But as far as daily content, it's all, again, about value. Treating them like a friend. If you have a good friend that you keep in touch with every day in some way, like what do you say to them?
Yeah.
I have some people that I've talked to that some of it's not even necessarily directly related to their content. It's like, hey, I was listening to this song today and it made me feel so good and just pumped me up. I want to share it with you. Here's a link to it. Hope you have a great day.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff I think is really valuable. And I know that we're trying to implement more of that as well into our email. Is just, being friends with
I think there's also like ebb and flow too, right? Like when they first come in, that's when they're most likely to buy something. So that's when you should be sending them emails every other day,
right?
On sort of remember, they're not going to see all of your emails. They're not going to open all of your emails. Only your hottest prospects will open all your emails.
Yeah.
Because I hear this all the time, like, oh, I don't want to bother them. It's like, dude, they don't even remember you.
Right.
Like, let's get real.
Yeah.
They forgot they opted into you. You know what I mean? So the reality is when they're hot, like the person that sees all your emails is in love with you. That's rare. That's a positive thing.
Tribe.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
Like hit that person for a week or two, all with an email all the time.
And I would be focusing, especially if you're just getting them right away with that, whatever they're opting into, you got their email for the first time for that offer, is making sure that they got the value out of that opt-in. So a lot of times people will download the opt-in. Okay, I'll look at it later. I got it. And they never look at it again.
Yeah.
Now, how are they supposed to remember that you helped them at all? Because they never actually tried the thing that you offered them to get value. So remind them, hey, a couple days ago, you downloaded my guide.
I love that.
How it's working out for you. Hey, here's a little added tip, or here's a blog that might support you with what you're doing. Any of those types of things to add value, to make sure that they're getting that value. And that way they associate the free guide with you. And, oh my gosh, this person helped me so much for free. How much more could they help me if I...
Plus it reminds them that's the first thing, is create the Tylenol is making I can't remember anything now, but
automation.
What you create, like they remember you. You have to remind them of who you are.
Yeah.
Familiarity. Like familiarity is one of the primary goals of marketing. And so you're kind of like, hey, remember me? Like yesterday you downloaded my guide, you start your emails with these sentences that immediately trigger a positive interaction. So you say, hey, yesterday you downloaded my eating guide called 10 Ways in 10 Days or whatever. That was good. Let's write that down. 10 Ways in 10 Days. And now I want to share with you like a tip that really helped me. It's a blog that'll keep you motivated. You'll love it. Click here. And it's like short and sweet and to the point. They're like, oh yeah, that was cool. I didn't even look at that thing, but that's what they got now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so they're opening more emails and they're triggering to the email companies that you are an opener. Like this is someone that you should be emailing to. Now, if you get somebody who's not answering those emails and not engaging, then back off for a little while and then send them emails again. It is better to send more emails and get an unsubscribe than it is to treat your list like a delicate little lamb and never talk to them at all. You're actually damaging your list faster.
Yep.
Because they've forgotten about you in 30. Oh, I only send a newsletter a month.
Up and then they're like, who's this?
Who?
They don't even remember you.
They don't remember you at all. And you were worried about bugging them.
Right. And so then what do? Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe. And now Larry Kozin is saying, you remember when email didn't have a junk box? I don't, but right on, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure I was around because I think Microsoft Word came out my senior year or something like that. Maybe it was my junior year. But so I'm sure it was around.
I got started on Hotmail.
What was your first email? My first email was also Hotmail.
Are you an AOLer?
My email was dynamicfreedomvc@hotmail.com.
Dynamic Freedom.
It was because I was in a multi-level marketing company at that time. And so my why was to help people create dynamic freedom.
The freedom to live their lives
the
way they want.
And then by buying these vitamins from me. And then it was VC meant Ventura County because I was in. I thought we're going to build this huge MLM and it's going to be like BC and OC and LA and it's going to be like all the counties. And it was neither of those things. But AOL is being said out there. Larry Kozin is saying you guys are too young. God bless you, Larry Kozin. We love those comments. Speed Run is in the house. Good to see you. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple more things here as we sort of wind down the show. If you guys got questions, go ahead and ask them. I want to talk about tip number 5, which is giveaways and contests. We use an app called Gleam.io. And again, so now we're talking about how do you convert your people, right? Like what's your offer going to look like? And a lot of times you can simply get an Amazon gift card, Starbucks gift cards, merchandise, right? And you can go right into giveaways and contests. Now you can go set up a free account over at Gleam.io and get access to some of their free contests. And when you do that, they're free. You can still run contests, but they do everything for you. They will give you the landing page. And when they do, it's going to be this big, long URL. So you got to use Rebrandly to make it look nice, or even buy your own domain name. And we actually bought a domain name called winwithowen.com. And so when we do contests, we use that domain. But Gleam does all of that for you. And then it even sets the parameters of how you win. Okay. So what does that mean? It means like, let's say that you're going to give away an Amazon gift card for $100. And to win that $100, they have to follow you on Facebook, like you on Twitter, retweet a thing, and give you an email. Gleam does all of that and checks it off automatically. So as they do those things, Gleam checks it off, and then they get entered that many times. So it's like you do all 5 things, you get entered in 5 ways, right? And now you've got an email that you can export. If you get the paid version, you can do even more things with Gleam.io. Let's talk about membership sites a little bit here. Talk to us a little bit about what membership sites are.
First of all, I want to let you guys know these are all different ways that you can engage with your list or with your viewers outside of the video. So we're not saying you have to do all of these, right? Pick which ones work that are,
right,
are exciting to you that think, oh yeah, that would work with me. So if you want to put together a course of some sort, and that's how you want to possibly monetize your live stream show, your viewers, and so forth, having a membership site is very helpful. We're ClickFunnels people, so that's the one that we use, but there's plenty out there. For those of you who do have one, we would love to know what you're using. You can just put those in the comments. But some of the other ones that we've seen, some of my female friends prefer Funnel Gorgeous.
I've heard it said that ClickFunnels is for dudes and Funnel Gorgeous is for girls.
So
or for women, there's just my good friend Kristen Hill's got 400,000 subscribers. She was saying Funnel Gorgeous speaks to me in the way I want to be spoken to. And whereas for me, ClickFunnels is it seriously is my language.
And I don't know, I haven't used Funnel Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Mac versus PC organizational difference, or if it's just how it presents on the page once it's done. If they just have more feminine options, I'm not sure. But she loves it, and many others that I've talked to as well.
Now, our good friend Trina Little uses Teachable, and I love Teachable, and we're probably going to move our membership site over to Teachable. But we're going to keep ClickFunnels because
as a landing page.
Yeah, the cash register is better on ClickFunnels. And so, I mean, we're, I think, blessed enough to have a business big enough to where I'm not really worried about the cost.
Right.
Not everybody can do that, but I think, I think ClickFunnels is
and what I like about it, similarly to ActiveCampaign, where you have you can do email. It also has the CRM, minimizing how many tools you're using.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to have all sorts of subscriptions and what do I use and how do I integrate? Keeping things simple is better for our brains, our minds, right? So ClickFunnels, what's nice is that you get a lot of those features. You get your landing pages. You also can have your membership site there. And they do even offer, I haven't used it because we just love ActiveCampaign so much, but they do offer email. They have an email system of some sort. I'm not sure how good that is.
Everybody does. I'm really against these all-in-one things, right? Because it's going to be something important that they don't do well. And that I think is important to notice. ClickFunnels has a text messaging feature, but it's not done well per se. You know what I mean? So I would rather just get a separate text messaging tool. Yeah, exactly. And use ClickFunnels for what it's good at and use.
Right.
But here's what a membership site does, guys, is it provides you with this offer that allows you to get emails, but also monetize your audience. Okay. So let's come back to there we go. Perfect. And Carlos, now we're reading each other's minds here. By saying you may not have a course, and I believe in digital courses, but you may not want to wait to put that together. If you want to immediately get a place going, and maybe it's a simple Facebook group, really. Mm-hmm. We don't have time to talk about Facebook group and Discord today, but maybe you're saying, look, if you want to be in my private group, just send me your email. It's free. Right. Or maybe you say my private group is $9, or maybe you say it's $9 a month, right? Our private group is it's $49 a month. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we offer sort of a lifetime plan, which more people buy, by the way.
Yeah.
But either way, they buy into our membership program. Mm-hmm. And now they get access to me in a one-to-one level in varying, depending on how much they paid and when.
Right.
They get access to me. So I know that Mandy Joe is a walking coach, and she's not here today. I don't think she's here.
She hasn't said hi yet.
So you're dead to me if you're there and haven't said hi. But I don't think she's here today. But, you don't need to have a course. Just have a membership, and you go live to your group once a week. Guess what? When you go live, you could be building out your course. Mm-hmm. You do lesson 1 week 1, and then you upload that recording as a course. So lots of ways to do it. I just think that you guys have to decide that you're going to start building your email list from.
Email is essential for anything that we talked about here. The email part is essential. That's the foundation.
That's right. And you got to have a strong offer. So there's lots of different ways to grow your offers. What you have to do, though, is you have got to start going live and mentioning it in every single show that you do. Now, this is a sponsored show. This is sponsored by our fantastic partners over at Restream. So every show, we are driving you over to epiclivevideo.com, where you can get a free trial and upgrade your existing trial of Restream. So that's why you don't hear me talking about my free guide in this show.
Right.
But we're going to be going live on another day per week, and we're going to be promoting the free offer there. So you guys need to be promoting your free offer every single show that you do, right? So it's hey, just welcome to the show today. It's me, Teacher Paul, with Hard Boiled English. And remember that you can get my English speaking guide at learntospeakittoday.com. All right. Our next tip is blah, 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 blah. Whatever the the case might be. So any last words before what do you think is the biggest thing that they could do right now to take advantage of what they heard in this show today?
Start creating an offer.
That's good.
Yep. And again, just going back, if you're not sure, just thinking about what have you created for yourself that has helped you, because you typically we are our first client, right? With what we're doing. And then go send it off to a Fiverr person and make it look real good and get started.
Get that offer made. And if you want to join us in our free group that you're welcome to join and get more access to us as coaches, then go ahead and put group in the comment section right now. And our social media manager, Miss Carmen, will reach out to you and she will get your email and then add you to the group. You see how that works? And that's another way to get emails from your live streams. We'll talk about that more as we continue. Remember, we are changing the name of the show to the Business of Video Podcast, so be sure to subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, or follow us on LinkedIn. I'm Owen Video. This is my wife, Theresa, wishing you a very good week. We will see you next time.